Here we go.
Hi, I'm Cindy, and I'm located in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and my company name is Explore EFT.
Hi, and I'm Corby Furrow. I'm from Radiant Core Solutions out in Edmonton, and we have a very special guest with us today, Karen Raymond Anderson, who's out in, and I'm sorry, you're in Ontario somewhere, and I don't even know where it is.
In Oakville, just outside of Toronto.
Oakville, yes, yes.
Right.
So, yeah, so Karen's an EFT practitioner like ourselves, and so we thought we'd get Karen's view on where it's taken her and what her thoughts are on EFT. And if you want to just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we can get into it.
Absolutely. So my name's Karen, and as Corby mentioned, I'm just outside of Toronto, and I do have a practice called the Peaceful Rebel. And I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about today, and I was thinking actually the name of my company, not to be too self-indulgent, would be a great way to start, because I did the tapping summit, one of the sessions, and it was on our chakras, the root chakra. And one of the exercises was going back to as we envisioned ourselves as babies. And so the name Peaceful Rebel just came to me last year when I was thinking about a business name. And I don't know why, but it just always stuck with me.
It fits you.
And when I was doing this return to root chakra visualization exercise, I realized when I was looking at that baby, like she was a little peaceful rebel. And that's how I came into the world. I was born to be a peaceful rebel, and throughout different events in my life, sometimes the rebellious part was taken away from me, and I might have appeared peaceful on the outside, but it was actually a lot of inner turmoil. And in my teen years, the peaceful part was gone, and it was complete hellfire rebellion. And now that I'm reaching, I'm 45 now, and who I was meant
That's
to be.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. But it's come full circle. I'm actually getting goosebumps thinking about it right now. I am now becoming who I was meant to be, the peaceful rebel.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful to see that I am actually able, and I am living the life that I was meant to live.
Mm-hmm. And so what has guided you then to find that, bringing all those pieces together for you, because, you've shifted and now you're saying, now I'm here. So what's happened or what's changed for you?
Well, it was EFT. It really, really was. About, I guess, 13 years ago now, my daughter had acute sleep anxiety. And she would not go to bed at night, and then when she'd wake up in the middle of the night, it would be for hours, and we could not settle her, and she was just petrified. We tried everything, and our GP finally said it would have to be sleep medication. I have nothing against sleep meds, but I just felt for her age at the time, I think she was 5, I just felt it was too young. Yeah. We just happened to have moved into a new neighborhood, no accidents. Our new next door neighbor told me about this woo-woo witch lady who she swore by, who helped with some problems they had in their own family. So I was like, yeah, I'll try anything. So I went to the woo-woo witch woman and brought my daughter with me. And the woman didn't do a whole lot of explaining of what she was doing, but she started tapping on my daughter. And she showed me how to do this tapping. And she sent me home with a sheet of paper and said, at bedtime tonight, just try tapping with her and see what happens. So I did it, and my daughter, lo and behold, settled. She woke up in the middle of the night that night, and I thought, oh, it isn't going to work. It was a total waste of money, total waste of time. And we didn't even get through a full tapping cycle with her, and she fell right to sleep. Next night, tapped with her asleep, never had another issue again.
Wow.
Fast forward, I guess about 10 years ago, I started experiencing some acute pain on the right side of my body. And I went to specialists. I did everything, and there was no rhyme or reason for this pain. I was miserable. There was like medications involved. I thought this is just how I have to live my life, in pain, anxious and depressed, And then I remembered this EFT practitioner who was in Ottawa. And I thought, oh, I wonder, worked for my daughter. I wonder if there's anything she might be able to do for me. so I called her up, and we actually did it over the phone because I was in Oakville at this time. And we did one session, and I felt immediate relief. I was blown away, but I had a lot of stuff to work through. But just the fact that I had some relief for that moment, that day, I was like, I'm hooked. This is it. And then I started doing it on my own. I found the tapping scripts online, and just started doing a lot of research on my own, and was bringing more and more relief into my life. And then I realized to take it to the next step, and that's when I signed up with Nancy Forrester's program with NEFTY, and committed to the Discover program, and then the Harness program. And it's changed my life. It really, really has. It's been life altering, and I use it every single day, every single day, for everything.
And that's the beauty. It is so accessible and so easy to use. You can do it for a minute, you can do it for 10 minutes, it doesn't matter. It's you can just, whatever suits you in that moment.
And it's, there is like all the controversy right now about the 1 minute miracles and that sort of thing. And I think when you've been doing it for a while, and like, let's say you have to go give a speech or something, you're feeling nervous, that's the 1 minute miracle, like just to bring yourself, calm your system down. But then it's the stuff when you have the time to really explore stuff and clear those blocks and that resistance and doing the deep work. That's the truly transformational stuff.
And that's where I think we had talked to Nancy a little while ago before, and when she had said, we're trying to differentiate from that immediate relief versus your long-term relief that's going to stop you, because you can regulate your system in the moment, which is awesome. And there's many tools besides tapping, along with tapping. But if you want to do that deep work and have those sustainable results, you need to work with practitioners and get yourself out of that fear base, which is going to turn you around to not want to do that kind of stuff. But but what's on the other side is what you're saying, where you found yourself right now is, I am whole within myself.
Absolutely. Oh, there's always work to be done, but
exactly. But that's the beauty of it. There is always work, and you think, well, what's the point? But because we don't go back into that deep, negativity about ourselves, we can recognize it and go, oh, right, how do I want to be in this moment, and get back to that, spot where we can be creative and calm and value to ourselves.
And there's definitely, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say there's actually so much freedom in that self-awareness, and there's a huge accountability piece too, because now like, oh, this is resistance, like you have a label for it, you have a name for it, you know exactly what it is. It doesn't mean you have to touch it that day, but you just know that there is something there that's just calling to be worked on, to be addressed, to be uncovered and explored.
I like the term course correction. Every day we have to do a course correction. Like, it's snowing outside right now, so I have to allow for extra time to go travel, to go get the groceries. So it's a course correction so it's the same thing with our emotional selves. And there's still that stigma when we talk about mental, emotional health. We're not supposed to be emotional beings, but that's exactly what we're built with. So the beauty about tapping is it just allows you to regulate your nervous system to go look at those emotions that may not be serving you quite as well as they should be.
It's so gentle. And I'm someone who has seen psychiatrists, so social workers, psychologists, I've seen everybody about everything, and this is by far the most effective and the most gentle and respectful way that I've ever worked on myself.
And I think it's a good time to have this come out, because there's been so much research on it, and it's been around, it's not like it's just a new thing that's popped up. It's been around a long time, and now people are looking for that something that's not, we're not just going to medicate the symptoms and not find the problem. This way we can, hopefully alleviate, like there's, like we had talked about this in other times, is, there's a partnership to be had, but it's finding that where the core is, so that you can shine and be who you need to be. who you're meant to be, and
Absolutely.
I think there's a big awakening I'm hearing like all over the place, that people are ready and they want to, be themselves again.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, like, I'm sure yoga, at least like in North America, it was probably weird at one point, right? Like
it was.
in the 70s, it was probably weird.
Yeah.
And I kind of see, because like EFT, like tapping does look weird, and it takes some getting. What does it take some getting used to? Maybe one session and then you're.
I think, once you find you have that profound shift or that feeling where it's gone, it's like, it doesn't matter anymore.
You don't care.
That's like the first time I saw EFT, it's like, what the heck am I doing here? It's like, I've come this far, I guess I have to stay here. And then after that moment, it was like, okay, I'm sold, it's done, we're here.
Yeah, I have to admit, when I first started, like I'm a registered nurse, and so I'm Western trained, and when I learned this and I had the profound shift, I was still hesitant to share it with any of my colleagues because it looked so weird, but I was getting results. So then I would do, like, somebody would come to me and they're really upset about something. It's like, would you be open to trying this one thing? And just doing the bronze tapping alone, and the look on their face, what is this? And then it's like, that built my confidence that they were starting to get the shifts as well. So, and then people were being sent to me, go see Cindy, she'll make you cry. And I went, I will not make you cry. I will assist you in your release.
I've heard that a few times too. Oh yeah, she'll make you cry. It's good. It's
good. Not to scare anybody.
No. It's just, I think that's the safe, gentle part, right? You feel, if there's some tears to be shed, you feel very safe and comfortable in shedding them.
Exactly. And the nice thing too, I like to think of it as healing tears, really, because we can cry and cry and cry over our problems and never get anywhere and still have that problem next week. But when we finally really let go, it's like that wash, where it's okay, we're done with it now.
Yes.
Well, and it's our release valve. It's one of the many release valves we have built into the human body in the first place. So this idea that tears is a weakness and a vulnerability and just stop it, get over it. It's like, no, allow this, let them flow. Instead of let it go, let it flow.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
So that'll be our song. Let it flow, let it flow.
No, that's very cool. So anybody who's even contemplating, and what you've gone through, like say you've got experience with your daughter and with yourself now, what would you suggest that they start, or how do they even start?
How'd they even start? Well, I think about my own experience, and I had to start it on my own terms in a very safe way. And that was with sort of some bronze level. And that was just that was me, and doing it on the internet, because I was still in a place where I did not feel safe. I also didn't know who to go to. I didn't know how to even look for EFT practitioners. And there's it's almost overwhelming how much there is online right now. I feel like now, like I just trust my intuition so much. I know that I'm going to pick the right thing. But as someone who's first starting out, I would explore it through, like the Nifty website is great because Nancy, she's got her tutorials there, and she's just a really trustworthy individual. So she's a very safe person to start with. Just reading, I guess reading through, is the right word, accredited, like websites that where you know that the resources are good quality resources. And from there, I know that you could, if you wanted to work with a practitioner, you could definitely reach out and find one to work through there. And I think, tuning into your intuition with, working with people who feel safe. And I think that's where I'm getting my clients. All my clients definitely fit a mold. And I certainly haven't marketed myself that way, but that's who's coming to me. And that's obviously what I'm putting out there.
That's right. Yeah. We put out that energy that brings in the type of client that wants to work with us and that we want to work with them. Yeah.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So the purpose of these videos is that people can really meet more practitioners and kind of go, oh, I love the energy of this individual, and then get a hold of you so that it's like, immediately the safety net is starting to be formed.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cause I think you'll be watching these and you'll be like, I like her, or I like him. Like that person feels like a right fit for me. And you might not be able to identify why, but it's just a feeling that you get. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Well, and it's about following that intuition. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Karen, for joining us here today and sharing your story. I love that.
Thank you for thinking about me.
Yeah. Yes, hopefully we'll have some more in the future of that. So, but we appreciate your time and great to chat with you.
You too. Thank you. Thanks, Corby. Thanks,
yeah,
Cindy.
Thanks.
Oh, we'll see you soon.
Sounds good.